Aegagropila linnaei, known as Marimo in Japanese and as Cladophora ball, lake ball, or moss balls in English, is a species of filamentous green algae found mostly in a number of lakes in the northern hemisphere. A marimo is a rare growth form of the species where the algae grow into large green balls with a velvety appearance. Colonies of such balls are only known to form in Iceland, Scotland, Japan, Estonia and now Australia. Classification and nomenclature: they were first discovered in the 1820s by Antoni Soter in Lake Zell, Austria. The genus Aegagropila was established by Friedrich T. Carr 1/4 Zing with A. linnaei as the type species based on its formation of spherical aggregations, but all the Aegagropila species were transferred to subgenus Aegagropila of genus Cladophora later by the same author. Subsequently, A. linnaei has been accommodated in the genus Cladophora in the Cladophorales and has been renamed Cladophora Aegagropila rabanist and cl. Soteri Carr 1/4 tz. Extensive DNA research in 2002 returned the name to Aegagropila linnaei. The presence of chitin in the cell walls makes it distinct from the genus Cladophora. The plant was named Marimo by a Japanese botanist Tatsuhiko Kawakami in 1898. Mari is a bouncy play ball. Mo is a generic term for plants that grow in water. The native names in Ainu are Torasamp and Tokarip. They are sometimes sold in aquaria under the name Japanese moss balls although they are unrelated to moss. In Iceland the lake balls are called Karluskator by the local fishermen at Mar 1/2 EATN where the muck is any weeds that get entangled in their fishing nets. The generic name Aegagropila is Greek for goat hair. Growth forms: there are 3 growth forms. One is epilithic and is usually found on the shaded side of the rocks. Another growth form lives as free-floating filaments, as small tufts of unattached filaments that frequently form a carpet on the muddy lake bottom. The third growth form is the lake ball proper, where the algae grow into sizable balls of densely packed algal filaments that radiate from the center. The balls do not have a kernel of any sort. Ecology: the existence of Marimo colonies in Lake Akan, Hokkaido in Japan and in Lake Mar 1/2 EATN in Iceland depends on the adaptation of the species to low light conditions, combined with the dynamic interaction of wind-induced currents, light regime, lake morphology, bottom substrate and sedimentation. The growth rate of Marimo is about 5 om per year. In Lake Akan they grow particularly large, up to 20–30 cm. Mar 1/2 EATN, Iceland, has dense colonies of Marimo that grow to about 12 cm in diameter and form well-defined patches on the lake floor at depths ranging from 2–2.5 m. The colonies were discovered in 1978 but have shrunk considerably in size since then. The round shape of the Marimo is maintained by gentle wave action that occasionally turns it. The balls are green all the way round, which guarantees that they can photosynthesize no matter which side is turned upwards. Inside, the ball is also green and packed with dormant chloroplasts which become active in a matter of hours if the ball breaks apart. The wave action also cleans the balls of detritus. As some colonies have 2 or even 3 layers of Marimo balls, wave action is needed to tumble them around so each ball reaches the light. The spherical shape has a low surface area to volume ratio compared to a leaf, which limits photosynthesis and therefore limits the maximum size of the Marimo balls. Conservation and cultural aspects. The rapidly declining population of lake balls in Mar 1/2 EATN is of special concern, but for unknown reasons some of the main patches have all but vanished in recent years. At Lake Akan a great effort is spent on the conservation of the lake balls. This includes an annual 3-day Marimo festival in which the Ainu people, the indigenous people of Hokkaido, play an important part. Because of their appealing appearance, the lake balls also serve as a medium for environmental education. They bear a certain likeness to the Earth in being green and round and in their need to rotate in order to receive light on all sides. In Japan the Marimo has been a protected species since as early as 1920, defined as a natural treasure. Small balls sold as souvenirs are hand-rolled from free-floating filaments. The Marimo was given a status of protected species in Iceland in 2006. Both Lake Mar 1/2 EATN and Lake Akan are protected, the former is a nature reserve, the latter is a national park. Awareness of the unique nature of the Marimo has not gone unnoticed in the rest of Japanese culture. A widely marketed stuffed toy character known as Marimokuri takes the anthropomorphic form of the Marimo algae as one part of its design. Care for domestic Marimo. Domestic Marimo grow in tap water at room temperature as long as the water is changed every 1 or 2 weeks. The Marimo can be placed in the refrigerator in hot weather, but does not survive freezing. Photosynthesis occurs in normal household lighting, otherwise, indirect sunlight since the Marimo is adapted for low light conditions only. Marimo balls can be immersed in club soda water to increase the rate of photosynthesis. The elevated carbon dioxide favors algae growth but may be detrimental to fish and other aquatic creatures. The Marimo balls can be cut into halves or fourths to propagate them. After cutting, roll the pieces into balls with your hand to reform them. In Lake Aegan the epilithic filament form of Marimo grow thickest where dense salty water from natural springs flow into the lake. If the Marimo green color turns brownish it may recover without intervention, otherwise a minimal amount of salt can be added as a suggested remedy. However, avoid using normal salt, use ocean salt for saltwater aquarium tank instead. When cleaning Marimo, avoid using strong water current directly on them as this may damage their shape. Gently squeeze them in a bowl of water to remove the dirt accumulated inside. See also, List of special places of scenic beauty, special historic sites and special natural monuments. Notes, Berry, Sean. UFOs on Sydney Beach https, or news.yahoo.com. 7 News. Retrieved September 21, 2014. Iramoto, Takashi 2004. Creation of the Marimo Festival, Ainu Identity and Ethnic Symbiosis. Senri Ethnological Studies 6611 €38. References, Ian Arson, A. Stiefel NSDA cubed TTIR, G. Jar cubed Henderson, H. Olafsson, J.S., Garslason, G. M. Wakana, I. Gudbergson, G. and Gardarsson, A. 2004. The Ecology of Lake Myvatn and the River Larksa, Variation in Space and Time. Aquatic Ecology 38 317 €348. Hanuda, T., Wakana, I, R.I., S., Miyagi, K., Watano, Y. and Weeder, K. 2002. Phylogenetic relationships within Cladophorales inferred from 18 srRNA gene sequences, with special reference to Aegagropila linnaei. J. Ficol. 38 564 €71. Johnson, G.S. 1992. Photosynthesis and production of epilithic algal communities in Thingvallavatn. Oikos 64 222 €240. Nagajawa, S., Wakana, I. and Nagao, M. 1994. Mathematical characterization of photosynthetic and respiratory property regarding the size of Marimo unregistered trademark S. aggregation. Marimo Research 316 €25. Yokohama, Y., Nagao, M., Wakana. I. and Yoshida, T. 1994. Photosynthetic and respiratory activity in the inner part of spherical aggregation of Marimo. Marimo Research 37 €11. Yoshida, T., Nagao, M., Wakana, I. and Yokohama, Y. 1994. Photosynthetic and respiratory property in the large-size spherical aggregations of Marimo. Marimo Research 31 €6. Yoshida, T., Horiguchi, T., Nagao, M., Wakana, I. and Yokohama, Y. 1998. Ultrastructural study of chloroplasts of inner layer cells of a spherical aggregation of Marimo, and structural changes seen in organelles after exposing to light. Marimo Research 71 €13. Wakana, I. 1992. A bibliography relating to Marimo, and their habitats. Marimo Research 11 €12. External links, Japan Atlas, Aegagropila linnaei on the Aquarium Wiki Encyclopedia, Marimo Malaysia, Okeanos Aquariums Marimo Care Sheet.